This month alone, there's been 85 cancellations of services from Stagecoach in North East Fife alone, and I'm sure there's been even more since I did the tallies. And Brexit, there's no doubt, is a factor, and I accept that. But the Scottish Government have got a huge responsibility because this has been leading up to this point for some time. I'm puzzled as to why it's only now that the task force has been established. So what accelerated measures is the Minister going to introduce to make sure we can get drivers back on the buses so we can provide these services?
Minister.
Thank Mr Rennie for a supplementary question. I have to say that it's not just been established. I met with the sector over the summer. I met with larger operators and with smaller operators. They both have very different needs. I think it's important to say from the outset. And the second point is we have provided significant funding to the sector throughout the pandemic, so up to £210 million in emergency funding to support the bus sector throughout the pandemic. And during the start of the summer, I chose to extend the NSG Plus grant, which ran from June until October. So that additional funding has been important. Now, I have committed to work with the sector to look at what additional funding we might be able to provide in Scottish Government. But I reflect to Mr Rennie some of the challenges we face in Scottish Government at the moment, having a fixed budget largely, and what that means for other economic pressures right across different portfolio areas that I do not have responsibility for. But this is deeply concerning, and again I reflect to Mr Rennie that one of the real challenges here is Brexit, of course, that Scotland did not vote for, and yet we are having to try to manage some of these challenges within the confines of devolution. I think there is probably a divergence of views between Mr Rennie and I on that subject. However, it is important to recognise that, and I'm happy to continue to work with the sector through the task force on this issue. Specifically, they have been tasked at looking at driver shortages, and I look forward to hearing the reports from that work when I meet with them in 2 weeks' time.